Okay, I think that's all right.
Uh,
Okay. Now this area is always a bit messy because I don't know what to do with these really long, and you didn't really see them so much before because the mattress was kind of yay high and they were kind of slightly hidden behind. Um, so here I have this huge roll of craft paper because, as I said, I can't get newsprint in Greece. This was the closest thing I could get to some sort of cheap recycled paper. So I was using that for when I went back to studying portraiture, which I'd still really like to do. But I have this project that I'm going to tell you about soon, and I can't really do both. I tried doing both, like X amount of hours per day will be spent on that, X amount of hours be spent on that, and it just didn't really happen. I feel like I need to be kind of tunnel vision with something. I wasn't able to kind of do a bit of this and a bit of that like I was able to before I came here. Maybe as well because it's just so many distractions here. And like I've said, living this way takes up a lot of time. Like things that would normally not take a lot of time do take a lot of time. That's what I mean. So I started off doing kind of just reminding myself of the planes of the head, wanting to try and commit the skull to memory. So there's some skull drawings there. Don't know if this is going out of focus. More skulls at the bottom. More heads. That's the Riley head at the top. Then you've got the Azaro head underneath. And again, I just really wanted to commit this stuff to memory. So I wanted to have this on display somewhere. Now, if I was in a house, of course, I could just put it up on the wall. But in a tent with the sides sloping like this, and I can't really attach something to it because I think then the tent will get surface tension. So when it rains, if there's something touching the inside, the rain will come through. So I don't really know what to do about that. I thought about getting a massive piece of plywood and attaching it to that, which is one possibility, and then just leaning it up somewhere. But I said this place is already starting to feel quite cramped because I can't make use of the vertical space. So I haven't done anything, and also it's not like you can buy plywood here. You can't really buy anything except basic food, basic toiletries, basic cleaning equipment. That's kind of it. There's certainly no electrical shop or wood shop or anything like that here. So they were my head studies. I've got this yoga mat at the back which I just bought, hence why it's not been used, and it's got this on it. And I before had like a camping mat that someone gave me that I was using to try and do some yoga on, but the cats, it was one of these cheap, horrible, I don't know what it's made from, those mats, like those are the cheapest camping mats you can get, and the cats just clawed it to pieces. And also in this kind of climate, these things tend to degrade really fast. So I didn't want to get anything like that. And I read that cork is really good. Apart from it's a renewable resource, apparently it's really good in the humidity because when it gets damp, it actually functions better. So I thought this was a really good choice. But because I don't want the cats scratching it or doing anything with it, I'm just wondering the best way to store it. And it might just be at the back here in some sort of box. Yeah, I don't know. And if you see me in a video at a later date, much later, and you see this has still got this slip on, somebody please write in the comments and tell me to get off my arse and, and exercise because I'm really not doing enough. Again, I struggle with balance. I'm very tunnel vision with things, and then when I get quite often, if I get into art, the rest of the world just falls by the wayside. Like I just forget everything, including just basic care, like drinking and eating. Yeah, there's like some sort of maraca thing in there, and just random bits and pieces that I just haven't ended up finding a home for. And then in here, I've just got some rolls of paper that I ordered that I discussed in another video. And then here I've got my light box. And this really is just kind of a bunch of work in progress stuff or things that I'm thinking about or need tweaking or I'm going to revisit. And like I said, out of sight, out of mind. So this is another reason I'm just so messy because I tend to need these things or just forget about them if I don't have them there. It's almost like I need to have everything just plastered everywhere. So everywhere I look, there's a reminder of something. So yeah, some just copy paper, numerous sketches of stuff, some thumbnails, test prints, more work in progress sketch, a sketchbook. And this is what I mean about doing things on scrap pieces of paper. This paper's so thin, and I worked this paper so much. You can see what's like happened to it. But it's okay, because I know how to kind of put that back together. It's still okay for what I need to use it for, so I'm not too worried about that, as long as it doesn't get even more messed up. And then here I just have a load of blocks, some finished, some not finished. I have a whole bunch of these. My therapy workbook, which I've done a bit of stuff in, but I'm not, again, I go through these phases of doing like very much a feast or famine person, like extremes, and I suppose that's maybe to be expected for somebody with BPD. You know, like I get really obsessed with something and then I stop. I get obsessed with something and then I stop. And this was no different. So obviously the whole point of doing this is to kind of get better. So I have this out as it's supposed to be a reminder for me to do it daily. But if I'm really honest with you, I haven't done this for a few weeks. Just more test prints. Oh, this cat. This is actually a really sad story. This cat is Amber, and she is she was the sister of Zen, who I have here. And Amber I considered her my cat because she was here almost all the time. And then at the beginning of the year, we found her dead behind the taverna, and she's only about 7 months old, bless her. And we don't know if she was poisoned or she was hit by a car, because the symptoms, the signs suggested it could be one of those things. And I'd actually started painting this before, maybe about 5 days before this happened, as a gift for a really good friend of mine here, because Amber is her favourite cat. And so then when this accident happened, and we were both absolutely devastated, I just could not go back to this emotionally. I just couldn't deal with it. So this was like over a month ago now. I still feel sad. I could perhaps go back to something like this now. But this was just a test painting anyway. You can see I've got the swatches at the top. I was just testing out colours and whatnot. And I've got some just general swatches on the back. So that's watercolour on caddy paper. Yeah. And then in here as well, I just put paper that I don't want to get messed up. Like, this is caddy paper that's not been used. There's some Fabriano paper that I wanted to try out for charcoal. There's different papers here that I was testing the other day for lino printing. And then, just some other sort of prime pieces of sheets of paper, I guess. And then here, more sketches, swatches, notes to me, to-do list, which I'm a bit obsessed with doing, and then I just develop a blind spot and don't see them. Sketches. And again, more kind of like when I was doing the head studies here, like looking at features. I really miss, I don't know if you remember, if you've been a subscriber to my newsletter for a while, I don't know if you remember, I was doing this book with that beautiful Clairefontaine, kind of like craft paper but thicker, so you can use gouache on it and colouring pencils and all sorts. And I was studying anatomy, and I was spending ages recreating these like detailed drawings with the muscles and everything. And I had this absolutely amazing anatomy book that I absolutely love. Can't remember the name of it now. It's something as simple as Anatomy for Artists, even though there's probably loads of books with that title. I absolutely love this book. I was thinking of asking my aunt to send it to me, but that will take months to arrive. But yeah, it's one of my favourite books. And I even wish I had the anatomy sketchbook with me now. But if I asked my aunt to try and find it and send it to me, I've got so much stuff in the UK, she's probably not going to find it. And that's what this was kind of reminding me of as I was doing that. And there still is a little bit of pain attached to everything that happened. And obviously, like my sudden departure from the UK and coming here, there still is, there's still some trauma there, but obviously the further I am away from it, and the more accepting I can become of it, and the less it stresses me. It's just certain moments kind of trigger me a bit with that, but generally I'm okay. I've moved on, blah blah blah. And then just plain lino, and I've got this box here which is empty, and the reason I've kept it there is because the way I get my power is through a power station, a portable power station. And the first one they sent me broke literally within about 3 weeks. So I sent that back to Athens, I think it came from. And then I got them to send a replacement. And the replacement already within 2 weeks is starting to show the same faults as the other one. So I've kept the box because I'm expecting I'm going to have to return that as well, which is really frustrating because obviously if I don't have that, I don't have any power except just stuff I charge at the taverna. Excuse me, sorry, I've got hiccups. So that's it for this side.